Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans 1977. It's Tuesday night, and you know what that means. It is time for the NXT Event Center Wrestling Report featuring the superstars of the future in the WWE. And it's on the CW network every Tuesday night at 8. And here's the man that will bring you the report from the show itself. He is Mr. Shenanigans himself, Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans 1977 episode 2087, March the 11th, 2025, 11:07 p.m. I apologize for uploading this video a little later than usual. I usually try to upload do the video after NXT. But I was working on a couple things as far as the thumbnails are concerned. You're going to see brand new thumbnails in the making, and I'm totally excited about that. So keep your peepers on for that. Okay. So and as far as Eric Lima versus the World is concerned, I'm going to keep it in the pop culture range. There's going to be no drama, no politics, no religion. No drama concerning any former member of a community or former associates or friends or family, unless you want to roast. Unless you want to get a roast. Roast is going to be a little different. So roast will be funny and ha-ha and all that. That's fine, but it's kind of like, roasting things that are pop culture or celebrities that are pop culture and all that. Like I said, no politics, no religion, none of that. And that's why I need to be very, very careful how I go about this. If I'm doing this Eric Lima versus the World segment, I'm going to get a thumbnail for it. I'm going to let it stand out. It's going to be a lot of fun, trust me. It's going to be a lot of fun. And it's inspired by the Bopus, so it's going to be funny. It's going to be a whole lot. You're going to see a lot of wrestling involved, wrestling subjects involved. You're talking about wrestling. Hey, Bopus talks about movies most of the time. What's going on here, I do my thing, and I try to keep it a wide variety of things, and keep it occasional, okay? So, just to let you know, that Eric Lima vs. the World is still in the, on the blueprint, so to speak. It's yet to be worked out. But, however, yeah, like I said, with 2025, years changing, I change the thumbnails, and that's what I'm trying to do. So, especially the game show thumbnails too. It's gonna be a lot of fun. You don't like the new thumbnails I made up, and it's kind of inspired by a couple of Deviant artists on Deviant Art, and when it comes to making like badge icons, it's going to be really cool. You're gonna like it, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So. What a week this has been so far. The first 2 days of the work week I returned, they've been very beautiful days. But, so I wouldn't get a spring's tease because we're going back to basically the winter portion part. As you know, winter's not over yet. We got 9 days left of it. But if you tomorrow night into Thursday, we're supposed to be a little bit of rain and snow, and a little bit of rain and snow, and obviously though I don't think we're gonna get like inches because, like I said, with these 2 days getting up near 60 degrees, and after this whole thing gets back up into 50s and 60s, a lot of it's gonna melt away, so it won't accumulate much. Even if it hits the ground, it's gonna melt right away because we had a warm ground for the past for yesterday and today. You know what I mean? I gotta go to one of these days. I'm gonna go to New York Bagel in Acushnet, Main Street. I'm looking forward to it, and once I find it, I will, go there, get some pizza bagels, and I said, I hope you guys have pizza bagels. I was on Instagram. They say, of course. I was like, yay! I like the pizza. I'm the pizza bagel dude. And I'm probably going to go start going to the Acushnet one because it's easier to go there. Now, no offense to Dartmouth, because Dartmouth's got a small parking lot. And in a way, it's strategically placed in. They deserve a bigger spot, to be my honest opinion. So we'll go right there. But enough of that. Enough of the gaga. Let's talk about the meat and potatoes of the episode of the show. NXT Roadblock 2025 at the theater in Madison Square Garden. You ever thought about NXT being part of Madison Square Garden? You're crazy, you know? And how are the stakes so high? How are the stakes high? Now, the TNA tag team title was on the line. The Hardys against Fraxium to decide who was the greatest tag team of all time. Heck of a matchup between these two teams. But the Hardy Boys retained the titles. But begs within the question, had they received an NXT Tag Team Championship matchup? Now, if the Hardys win the NXT Tag Team titles, they will be going down as the greatest tag team, not just in wrestling history, but in WWE history, because they have held the Raw, they have held the SmackDown titles, they held the WWE titles. Now, and if they beat Fraxium, they would hold the NXT titles, and that's going to be a crazy deal, man. Meanwhile, Jada Parker was talking about, hey, I get my next shot at the title and all that, and guess whose advice she got from? Mickie James on NXT. And Mickie James says you got to go out and get it. You have to. Don't stand around and wait for it. And Jada Parker's like, nah, Miss Parker don't play. And I think Mickie James is liking Miss Parker. So everybody loves Jada Parker. Jada Parker's going to be a breakout star. I would not be surprised if sometime by next year she's on the main roster and part of a stable. Trust me on this one. And I think, and then she's going to break out of that stable and become a champion. I won't be surprised if her and Bianca Belair join forces now. And and that'll be something to see. Could be a Nubian world order be formed. Everybody's talking about. You got Jakara Jackson, Last Legend. Are they in on this? Is Tamina in on this with Naomi? Lots of storylines coming out of Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, Naomi situation. I'm kind of curious about where it goes. And might head up to WrestleMania. And now on top of that, Bianca Belair's got a shot at Io Sky for the Women's World Championship. And Rhea Ripley seems to be in the thick of things. What is going on? The women's division is getting crazy before WrestleMania. And I'm telling you one thing right now, on both sides. And Bianca Belair is getting the crazy end of the stick here. Because she's trying to challenge for the Women's World title. And she's got to deal with Naomi and Jade. Who knows what's going to happen in that situation. And Stacks was upset that Tony D'Angelo lost the North American title. He says he let his temper get the best of him. And then, Tony D'Angelo's, I agree, showed you emotion, weakness. We got to do something. I said, hey, listen, next week we got next week we got a six-person tag with Luca Crucifino, Adriano Rizzo, and Stacks against Nico Vance, Brooks Jensen, and Izzy Dane. And then Tony D'Angelo, and we co-signed it. And you know what? Let me co-sign it. All right. So they shook hands. They got done. Meanwhile, women's action. Jordan Grace took on Roxanne Perez. Roxanne Perez, small. She may be smaller than Jordan Grace, but she knows how to try to win matches. And definitely, she was taking out during the matches. She was trying to take out Jordan Grace's knee, takes away the power, and that's what was a smart strategy on her part. But Jordan Grace, in the end, ended up hitting the Grace driver on Perez. Jordan Grace wins the match. And as Obafemi and Moose get ready to go out there and to do battle for the NXT Championship, Moose and Obafemi were separate. Moose is going towards the ring by himself. But then Obafemi takes another route, and he looks to his left. The Undertaker. The Undertaker. He says, listen, I'm very impressed with you. And he goes, I don't have to tell you how important this match is, but go out and defend your yard. And then gives some great advice, and then puts out his fist. They both fists. Undertaker and Obafemi. If you get an endorsement from The Undertaker, you're going somewhere, man. I'll tell you, Shawn Michaels gave Obafemi the endorsement. Triple H gave Obafemi the endorsement. Now you got The Undertaker. Those three main Attitude Era superstars right there. Especially with Shawn Michaels. I'll tell you one thing right now. Those are legends, Hall of Famers. They gave you the seal of approval. Obafemi is going places. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you say. Obafemi. Watch him in the future, man. I would not be surprised if he goes on the main roster, gets drafted this year. I would not be surprised. Unless they want to keep him in NXT and make him have a historical NXT title run. That could be a possibility. But I would not be surprised, because the fact of the matter is, I would like to see him challenge Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental title. And then make him work on his way up. Him again, Obafemi versus Gunther. Big meaty man slap meat. Let's go. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. Being a big meaty man slap meat, Oba defending the title against the TNA X Division champion Moose. These two men went at it. These two men went at it, and like the clash, and it was move for move, slap for slap, punch for punch, kick for kick. You're talking about big meaty men slapping meat. That was it. And Obafemi retained his title and defended his yard like The Undertaker told him to do. He did the job. And you know what? You listen to The Undertaker, you go to the top. Bobby the Brain Heenan says, you listen to me, you go to the top. If you don't listen to me, you never heard from him again. I say it applies to The Undertaker as well. You listen to The Undertaker, you go to the top. You don't listen to him, you'll never be heard from him again. And I'll tell you one thing. When you got an endorsement from Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and The Undertaker, come on. Obafemi will be the man. He is the ruler of NXT. And you know what? Keep it up, Oba. You're going to be a ruler for a long time. You may be a ruler over the Intercontinental title, the United States title. You get yourself a partner that is equal to you, being tag team champion. And you might be WWE champion, knocking off probably John Cena. That would be a big deal. Obafemi and John Cena, I want to see that matchup. How about, Obafemi versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight title? Let's go. Obafemi, go Oba. That's all I'm going to say in that matter. I like Obafemi. I'm starting to like him. Meanwhile, Sol Ruka and Zarya, who I like to call the Wave of Destruction, Zarya says she had to do things Sol's way now. Sol has to do everything Zarya's way. And he goes, what are we doing here? And, Zarya and Sol Ruka were in suits, like hazmat suits, and they had a protection helmet and shield. They were in a rage room, breaking beer bottles, glass bottles, throwing stuff, beating up on tires, and going nuts, and having a lot of fun. And I think like I said, the Wave of Destruction. That's why I like to call them the WOD, the Wave of Destruction. You got the Brothers of Destruction, Kane and The Undertaker. You got the Wave of Destruction, Zarya and Sol Ruka. In fact, Sol Ruka has a huge opportunity next week on NXT because she'll be challenging Chelsea Green for the Women's United States title. Holy mackerel. If Sol Ruka picks up a victory over Chelsea Green. But I would not be surprised if the Secret Herbis. Now it's Alba Fire and Piper Niven as the Secret Herbis. Zarya's going to have her hands full at ringside if they end up showing up. So, but anyways, they did the axe room thing, and Zarya's teaching her how to throw the axe, and she did it right, and she's working on that. And then they did a shoey in the end, like the Australians do. They drink from the shoe, which is hilarious, to say the least. Fatal Influence was confronting Ava, and Fallon Henley was demanding an NXT Women's North American title rematch. And when is it going to be? And Ricky Starks interrupts and, hey, why is everybody so angry around here? Ava, I don't know how you're doing it. And Ava goes, you know what? And, J.C. Jason's Ridge was right about you. You don't belong here. And he said, people keep telling me I don't belong here, but I want to prove myself. And Ava read his mind. She says, about this next week, you and Ridge Holland. And then Ethan Page interrupts Saints and Ava, and Ethan Page goes, NXT doesn't like outsiders. Outsiders? what is this, the NWO, a new version of it from AEW called EWO, the Elite World Order? Come on, dude, Ethan. So all ego Ethan Page and Javon Evans in a street fight. These two men beat the you-know-what out of each other. And then Javon Evans picked up a thing or two from Randy Orton with those RKO cutters that he's been using. It was like an RKO slide on a table and then RKO on a chair, knocking out Ethan Page, and Javon Evans picks up the victory. But then the lights went out, and here comes the Mysterious Four once again. They came down, and Javon Evans, Corey Grace's gal in the ring, but Javon Evans stood his ground, and the Mysterious Four beat. Excuse me. Cheapest. And beat the you-know-what out of Javon Evans. Meanwhile, Brooks Jensen, Nico Vance, and Izzy Dane and Sean Spears were talking about addressing the victory last week, and Sean Spears is the new North American champion. And now they, as a group, are known as the Culling, which that's a creepy name for a group. And Nico Vance, Brooks Jensen, Izzy Dame, they are now called the Culling. That's right, the Culling. What a name. Culling. And then I'm afraid to look up that word. Let me see what it means. Yep. Wait, the Bruins beat the Panthers? Besides the fact that the Panthers has Brad Marchand? Unbelievable. Bruins won. All right. All right. Culling is the process of removing or separating individuals from a group based on certain characteristics. You know. All right. Culling the noun. The act of process selecting and removing desirable or undesirable individuals from a group. The process of gathering or collecting the group of things resulting from either of these processes. So, okay. So like a gathering as such. They call it the culling. What a name about that. Then Sarah Schreiber interviewed Eddie Thorpe, and next week it will be an underground match between Thorpe and Williams. And Trick Williams decided to brawl with Eddie Thorpe in the theater in Madison Square Garden. That's crazy. And now the main event, the biggest women's match in NXT history. Title for title. Julia defending her NXT title, women's title, against Stephanie Vaquer, who's defending her NXT Women's North American title. And ladies and gentlemen, these two ladies had their matchup, and we have a new NXT Women's Champion in Stephanie Vaquer. And there was reports that went out before that matchup that Julia was working with an injury. And I think they had her drop the title so she can work on recovering from that injury and all that. And I think this will give Julia another great opportunity to get more English in, learn a little bit more. Now when she comes back, she'll be mentally ready to go and become NXT Women's Champion again. That means it leaves the door wide open with the North American title. If Ava tells Stephanie Vaquer she has to give up the Women's North American title, and Fallon Henley's going to get upset about that, and say, the title should be given back to me, and I'm sure Ava, I think you know what's going to happen? Stand deliver women's ladder match. I think that's what's going to happen in that situation. And and Fallon Henley will have to qualify for a ladder match. And that, and that also leaves the challenge of the NXT Women's Championship now wide open. With Julia out of the picture for now due to injury, I do believe Jordynne Grace is going to step up. What's Jada Parker going to step up? Because I know she's been talking about that. Fallon Henley will probably think, you know what? The NXT Women's title will probably be better. Who knows? And that will give some of the ladies, and so I'm going to watch tomorrow, Evolve, and and next week's NXT, we got to find out who's going to step up. Who's going to step up now? The women's division has changed a little bit. We shall see how this develops with Julia out of the picture for now due to injury. I think that's what it is. I'm sad that Julia lost the title, but I'm really proud of her. She, in a short amount of time, but only a matter of time that she'll come back and take what's rightfully hers once again. Congratulations to Stephanie Vaquer, the new NXT Women's Champion. So, like I said, leaves the NXT North American title wide open, and Women's North American title wide open. Might see Fallon. It's going to probably decide in a ladder match. Come on, we're almost to stand. It's going to be stand and deliver season. Abel will think of something. I'm telling you. If I were Fallon Henley, I'd be thinking, stand and deliver season. I'm going to get my title back, and I'm going to get to work. We shall see what happens. So that is it for episode 2087 of Eric Lima Shenanigans 1987. Be on the lookout. New thumbnails are coming, and I'm working on them as we speak. And tomorrow we got Joker's Wild, we got AEW Dynamite, and we got WWE Evolve. Really excited about that. So I will see you guys later, and excuse me. I will see you guys later. You guys have a wonderful and blessed night, and until next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home. That is all for today's episode. This is your announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E, do it for Bob Saget Productions, and in association with a Raven Bofa Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching today's episode. Tune in next time for another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Goodbye for now.